Hello, welcome to Sunny Sanctuary. I'm Sunny. This morning we need a practice to get us going. You don't have to just practice this in the morning. This is great for afternoon as well. But since it is in the morning, I'm gonna sit on a block. My hips are feeling tight. If yours are feeling tight, I invite you to join me. If not, just sit crisscross applesauce. It's early in the morning. I'm going to place a block beside me, put my right hand fully on the block, as you can see. I'm gonna lift and breathe as I lift. Deep inhale. My shoulders are down, and I'm gently going to tilt towards the right. Deep inhales and deep exhales. Want to make sure you're not tilting forward. We're upright. For a more intense stretch, if you can get there, you may look at your hand. Deep breaths in and out. And float your hand gently down. We switch sides. What we do to one, we do to the other. Yoga block, right at your hip. And because I'm a little tight in the hips, I'm going to switch my leg position. It's all about balance. Put your hand fully on the yoga block, your left hand. Deep breath. You're going to, with your hands fully together with intention, move your arm completely up, shoulders down. And we're going to tilt towards the left. And if you have it in you this morning, look up towards your hand and breathe. We're going to gently come up, float our hand down to the side. Ooh, this is a good one. Cat-cow. Great for waking up your spine early in the morning. If you can, roll over your ankles like I did. Go over to the side. If you cannot, move your feet around you and get on all fours. When you're on all fours, make sure your knees are very aligned with your hips. Your hands are underneath your shoulders, and we're gonna drop down. Activate your feet. Make sure that they are flush to the ground. Deep breaths in. And when we go to breathe out, we go to cat. Round your back, bring your stomach in. Deep breath. Let it out as you go into cow. 2 more on each side. Round up. We're into cat. We're really stretching between our shoulders. We're really pressing our body from against the floor. Deep breath in and let out as you go into cow. This will make it easy to get into the next pose. I would like you to curl your toes under, lift your hips up, keep your hands where they are, and move into a downward facing dog. In this posture, the goal is to have your hips tight, your slight bend in your knee. If your feet don't fall flush to the floor, do not worry. You can also bend your knees slightly, give her back a nice stretch out. Oh, that feels great. If you're able to put your feet down, again, micro bend in your knees. Take 2 more breaths. Your armpits and biceps should be rolling toward your face. Everything is active. We're going to walk our hands, bend your knees as much as you need to. Walk our hands to the back of the mat to meet our feet. We're just slowly but surely, 1 vertebrae at a time, roll ourselves up with our neck and head being last. Take a deep exhale. Mountain pose. I'm gonna face you. Make your feet this time a little bit wider than hip distance apart. You'll know you're in the right position and standing upright, because if you can lift your toes, put them down, and that will make sure you have balance. We're gonna go into mountain pose. Please bring your arms all the way up, shoulders down. Activate your hands, keep them straight. Now we're gonna do a back bend. Turn to the side for you. Keep the integrity of your pose. Slowly, just your upper back. We're not doing this. Not good. This will hurt you. Stay fully aligned, and it is the target of your upper back that you want to stretch back. Oh, let your heart open. Deep breaths in and out. Then I want you to cactus your arms. That means that you bring your arms down, hold the integrity of your pose, and it looks like this, with your head gently going back. We're gonna hold here for a beat. Deep in and out. Gently raise your arms back up. Shoulders down. Bring your hands gently down beside you. Woo! Do you feel alive and woke yet? Woo! I feel good. Extended side angle. Feet more than hip distance apart. We're gonna slowly start to bend into, woo! Slowly start to bend into your right leg. Take your right arm, put it just above your knee, and we're going to bring our arm up and breathe. The next transition we will do is get into lizard. We'd like you to look down towards the floor. Gently bring your left hand down past your waist. Bring up your back foot on the toes. Gently bring yourself down. Move your foot, your right foot out. If this is the furthest that you can go, do not go any further. Let your hips just kind of drop open. Your hips feel very heavy, and that is majority of where you should feel this posture. And if you notice, I kind of was able to go a little bit deeper. You want to make sure your right leg is pressing gently against your right arm. Make sure everything stays together. One more breath. Now to slowly come out of this, please watch me. I'm going to put my back foot at a 90-degree angle. Slowly start to walk. I can put my hands on my hips and slowly come up. Other side. Your front leg, which is now your left leg, faces the front. Knee bends. You got a micro bend in this knee. Your back leg, 90-degree angle. Left arm right above or tilting. Want you to bring your right arm up, fully engaged. Look at it if you can, and breathe. Let your hips fall open. One more breath. Let's move into our transition to lizard. We're gonna bring our hand down. Bring your left hand inside of your left side. Move your left foot out. Put down your right hand. Rotate your right foot and sink into the pose. Let your hips do the work. Our inhales give us energy, and our exhales let us settle into the pose. This is lizard. To get out of this posture, same thing. We're going to slowly start to walk. Both feet are going to end up at a 90-degree angle. Put my hands on my hips, and just slowly with a flat back, come back up. With my shoulders down, take a deep breath. We're in a nice position to be able to do forward folds. Forward fold, you can have your feet, if you're facing like this, right at the ends of the mat. The goal is, as I adjust my stance, we're not doing this. We're gonna reach out of our hips. So I want you to slowly but surely, it's gonna start to feel a little unbalanced. Your yoga toes come into place here. You have a slight micro bend in your knees. I want you to act like your top part is what's reaching for the wall in front of you. As you slowly go down, don't bend your back just yet. Breathe, and then let go. You're gonna gently clasp your hands around your ankles. And you're gonna breathe. Lift up when you inhale. Go further in when you exhale. Move your hands to your hips. Slowly start to roll yourself up. Roll your shoulders down. Take a deep inhale and exhale through your nose, because we're about to go right back down. This will be interlacing. Interlacing behind your back is just like this, like holding hands. Looks like this. Tighter together, if possible, with one thumb over the other. You're gonna do the same posture, forward fold, except you are gonna interlace your hands and bring them up and around. Go as far as you can go. Each practice, we get a little bit better. All right. Make sure your hands are together as I showed you. Your feet a little more than hip width distance apart. Pull your arms down. Oh, this is a nice heart opener. I'm not overarching my back, but slowly but surely bend at my hips. Making sure my hips stay forward. I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna bring my arms with me. Keep your toes forward and breathe. You ease your way into the pose and allow your arms to stay very active. You're breathing and your feet and your legs are being activated. You should feel your hamstrings, your thighs, the back of your thighs. You should feel all of that this morning. Breathe, 2 more breaths. I want you to slowly, with intention, unlock your hands, bring them to your hips, come all the way back up. We're going to turn and slowly walk to the front of our mat. We want our feet to feel alive. So I want you to intentionally, while you're walking, feel every part of your foot and kind of exaggerate, okay, maybe a lot, in order to wake up your feet. we're going to go into chair pose. Legs are together. We're all in place, locked together along the sides of us. We're acting like we're sitting into a chair. Your bum goes outward. Your arms raise up. Your midline, your back are fully engaged, and breathe, hands overhead. Now, if you feel that you can go deeper this morning, just bend and have where your chair is lower. You can even get into Thunderbolt, which has the top part of your body perpendicular to the bottom. 3 breaths here. Want you to slowly transition to go straight up into mountain. Float your hands down. We're gonna go back into chair, only this time we're going to be aiming to sit down, handless. Slowly go back in the chair and keep going all the way down. It's okay if your feet lift up, mine do. Hands down to give you some stability. And we're down on our bums. Would like us to roll gently. Your legs should be hip distance apart, arms out intentionally, because I want you to slowly engage your core. As you slowly, when you're doing this, you can bring your, kind of tilt your pelvic bone up a little bit. As you slowly but surely, with good intention, with every intention, keep your legs down, roll onto your back. Once you're on your back, we'd like you to take your left hand, we're gonna grab the left outside part of our left foot. We're gonna lift up our right foot, grab the outside part of our right foot with our right hand. We're gonna extend into happy baby. Your lower back is flush to the mat. As we rock back and forth, this gives your back a beautiful massage. Your feet are facing the ceiling. Hi ceiling, how you doing? You are gently pressing your knees towards your armpit into the floor. You're gonna rock back and forth. Rock back and forth. Deep inhale and exhale, rock back and forth. Two more breaths. I'm gonna be stable, stagnant for my last 2 breaths. Bring your feet down together slowly. Use your hands to bring your knees together. Put your feet gently down. Take 1 pause of a breath. Going to go ahead, sit up, cross your legs, crisscross applesauce, moving into child's pose. I'm doing the more challenging child's pose. You can do the one where the legs are together. This morning, my hips, my lower body are screaming for me to open up. So I'm doing just that. Either way, you're gonna slowly walk your hands forward. Would like you to tent your fingers and really reach for the 2 corners of your mat with your hands. And then with a big exhale through your nose, bring your head down to meet the mat. Last exhale and inhale. Slowly walk your hands back. After they get your hands are under your shoulders, slowly bring your upper half up, vertebrae by vertebrae, and your head and neck come last. Move to our final posture, Shavasana. Bring your legs from behind you. Let your feet meet the four corners of your mat. Gently roll down. Let your feet fall open. Hands to your side, wiggle just a little bit to get your arms under your shoulders a little bit, and just let your hands fall open and breathe. This is time to come out of this posture. I'd like you to bring your legs in, one at a time, very gently. You're gonna roll over into fetus pose. Walk yourself up into a nice, comfy, seated position. I hope your body feels nice and open and energized to face your day. Thank you for coming to Sunny Sanctuary. Namaste. Modifications on board in Sunny Sanctuary. You do need 2 blocks to help you along your way today. First pose we're getting into is seated pose. Put the block right underneath your sits bones, right underneath your bum. Sit on it. If you cannot get your legs open this far, you are more than welcome to be closer together. Let's say going back towards your hip isn't realistic even with the block. Bring the block up a little bit, let's say about mid-thigh. This is my right hand, place it fully on the block. We're going to bring our left hand up. We're just gonna stay in this position. Keep your shoulders down away from your ears and lift. My hands are fully together and we're gonna lift straight up. Try your best to get your arm right next to your ear. Again, shoulders down, 2 breaths. You're going to want to either raise up or lock up in your lower body. Just let it rest. It won't fall. You're in a stable, steady position. I'd like you to bring your hand down now softly. We're gonna take the block, move it to the other side. What you do to one side, you do to the other. This is at mid-hip for me. My left hand is fully on the block. I'm gonna gently raise my right hand up, shoulders down. Just going to stay right here, keeping my arm all the way up as I can, trying to match my bicep and tricep with my ear. Deep breaths in and out. Float your hands softly back down. Let's get to downward dog. We're going to make it easy. I'm gonna put one block here. I'm gonna use my other hand to give me stability as I lift the other block. My blocks are even. I'm going to bring the floor up to me in this position. You can move same way that I'm moving to get into this, or if you cannot roll over like this, no problem. Bring your feet underneath you. You want your hands fully on the blocks. You're on your knees. I want you to bend your toes and slowly bring your bum up. And your feet come hip distance width apart. You're using the block. I want you to extend. Use all of your yogi hands. We haven't talked about yogi hands. Yogi hands are just as important as yogi feet. You want your hips to pike upward. My stance is not as far as it was previously. And you want to breathe. Your arms are straight and activated. You can have a micro bend in your knees and your elbows. Your biceps, your underarms should be facing your face. One last breath. Now we're going to move into cat-cow. This is perfect. We'd like you to slowly but surely get down on all fours. You're going to have to bring your knees behind you. Please remember, you can always put a towel down, roll up your mat to give your knees cushion as we go through this posture. Make sure your hands are both on the mat, which are underneath of your shoulders. And we're gonna go ahead, let's do cow. Drop your belly, lift your head and your bum. Push away from the mat with your arms. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, round your back. Push into the blocks. Breathe out. Move slowly back into cow. Deep breath. And this is our final cat. Make sure your toes are engaged. Like your toes should be helping provide balance. Make this a very strong cat. You're pulling your waistline in. You are pushing away from the mat. Deep exhale. Then I would like you to go to a neutral spine. Take a breath there. We've just completed cat-cow. We're in neutral spine. I'd like us to get to a standing posture. Want you to slowly move your 2 blocks to the side. Walk your hands back and just pick your foot up one at a time. Slowly but surely roll yourself up. Neck and head are last. Extended side angle. Your feet are going to be further than hip distance. The shorter your stance, the less intensive. The wider your stance, the more intensive. You're going to keep your back foot, your left foot, at a 90-degree angle. Your right foot will face the front. You will slowly start to bend into your right leg. Lower body is in position. Make sure that this leg stays tracking open. You're gonna bring your arms up, overhead, like a V. Shoulders down. Tilt towards the front of your mat and breathe. Slowly come up, float your hands down. Next is lizard. We're gonna bring the floor up to us. Slowly, even if you need some assistance, slowly go ahead. We're gonna do it different. Slowly bring your foot, forward facing foot inward at a 90-degree angle. I like us to slowly get down to the floor. You can bend your knees as much as possible. You're then going to turn and move your right leg out. Bring your blocks to you. Now, I'm gonna have them on the tallest edge because this is lizard and it's not easy. You're gonna slowly turn your left foot to be on your toes. Extend outward and down, lizard. Let the weight be in your hips. That's what we're trying to open this morning. And breathe. Last breath in lizard. Want us to go ahead and move our blocks with us to the center. You can even walk them around to the other side, because what we do to one, we must do to the other. We're gonna go into extended side angle, 90 degrees in my right foot. I'm gonna go ahead and move my blocks to the side. I do not need them. Left foot faces the front. I'm gonna bend into my left knee. I have a micro bend in my right knee. I'm gonna slowly bring my hands up and bend towards the left like I have a beach ball. Nice wide V shape. Hips are heavy. You know you're doing it right if you can lift your toes and still stay in place. You are there. 2 breaths, nice and deep, in and out your nose. As you breathe out, let your body get into the posture. Means you sink a little bit more. Okay, now we're getting into lizard. Slowly move your left foot in. We're gonna go ahead and bend our knees to get down as far as we need to. I'm gonna grab my 2 blocks, put them at the top, the highest position. I'm going to slowly turn my back foot on my toes facing the front, and I'm gonna give way to my hips. I'm gonna press into the blocks to give me some stability, and breathe. Okay, let's slowly move out of this pose. We're gonna move our feet and our toes back to a 90-degree angle. Make sure we're nice and aligned with our feet. All right, we're on to forward fold. You're gonna extend your hips. Keep a bend, nice little bend in your knee, but I wanna make sure that the weight of your feet as I move back and forth are being very activated. You wanna make sure you got your yogi feet going on. Slowly extend forward as we put the blocks down. We'd like you to challenge yourself by putting them on the second position. Put your hands fully on the block and bend forward. Nice deep exhales. My hands should be light on the block. I am working to give my lower back some extension from being asleep. Slowly remove your hands from the blocks as you pull yourself up into a upright position, into mountain pose. Whew, I feel good. Some people may not be able to do happy baby. So instead of happy baby, let's do cradle. Bring your right foot in close to your body. Gently pick up your left leg. You're gonna cradle your foot inside of your right elbow. Wrap your left elbow around just underneath your right knee. Clasp your hands together and pull up and in. Exhale. I am practicing using my drishti, which is right down my nose into a spot that I see that helps me with balance. Gently put your foot back down. We're going to switch positions. Now, your left foot goes in towards your body. Gently pick up your right foot, cradle your foot in the inner part of your elbow. Wrap your right arm just underneath your knee and bring everything together. Your chest is meeting your leg. Deep exhale and inhale. Make sure you're sitting upright. Let your lower half be heavy, because that's not what's getting the attention. It's your hips, your glutes, and your back and your arms. Those things, especially hips and glutes, need to be activated. Not anything else. This leg right here could just chill out. One more breath. Gently put your foot down. Child's pose. Props to help us get there. If your knees are not great, there is no problem with rolling up the mat. If your knees are really not the deal, skip this pose, please. Put your props to the side. We're going to gently come down to our seated position so we can transition into child's pose. Me personally, I roll over my ankles. Not accessible for everyone. So what I would like you to do, if it's not, just bring yourself around. And you're up on your knees. Your big toe mounds behind you should be touching. We have a modification. We take the pillow, we put it right on top of our lower leg because our bum is going to sit on it. We're going to keep our knees closer together. We're going to put our block down. Now that we're in this position, I would like you with slow and good intention. You're going to slowly walk your hands forward. The goal is to keep your bum on the pillow. Don't let it rise up. Gently walk your hands forward. And put your head on top of the block. You want to make sure your hands are tented and they are reaching for the corners of the mat. Give yourself 3 deep breaths in and out the nose. Okay, before you move the top part of your body, I would like you to move your hands inward. Once you get to your knees, slowly bring yourself up to seated with your head and your neck being last. This should feel comfortable. If it does not feel comfortable having this pillow, you can add a pillow if you need to, but the goal is to eventually be able to get fully down. Some people can, some people can't, and that's okay. You're here, and I'm glad that you're here. Those are the modifications for today's practice. I hope that you feel energized and alive and ready to tackle the day. Thank you for coming to Sunny's Sanctuary. Namaste.